Well, let's dive into Acts chapter 25. And if you have a Bible, I encourage you to read along as I read. Acts chapter 25 verse 1. When King Agrippa and Bernice arrived in Caesarea, they stayed with Festus, who was the governor of the province, who gave them a great welcome. So Festus, the Roman governor there, he gives them a great welcome. He probably, I would imagine, laid out the red carpet for him. They were important people coming to town. Verse 2. And after they had spent several days there, Festus said to Paul, "You may have your freedom if you admit that you've been disobedient, so that many charges can be brought against you." Now, this was what Paul was looking for, that he would appeal to Caesar. And so he said, "Very well, I am appealing to Caesar." So Festus thought by saying this, he could get Paul to confess his so-called crimes, and then he could use that as a way to put Paul to death. But Paul outsmarted him because Paul knew that he was going to appeal anyway. So he said, "All right, you want me to admit that I'm disobedient? Okay, I am disobedient to the Roman government. I am appealing to Caesar." So Paul appealed to Caesar, which was actually his right as a Roman citizen. And so he used that as an excuse to get away from this governor. And then Festus got in a little bit of trouble, because he basically sent someone to prison without really giving them a fair trial. And so he got in a little bit of trouble with the Roman government over that. Verse 7. But when he had sent for him, he asked him, "Are you willing to go to Jerusalem and there face the charges against you before me?" Paul replied, "I stand before the council of the people at Jerusalem, and not before you, my king, to be judged according to the law of our forefathers. I have done nothing wrong, as this governor has already said. If therefore I am a malefactor and deserve death, I refuse to plead even with the king, for I appeal to Caesar." Then Festus, trying to curry favor with the king, said to Paul, "You are crazy. Your great learning is making you crazy. I suggest that you have a talk with the king, too, because he is very enthusiastic about learning, and perhaps he might send you to Caesar. What do you say?" So Festus here is trying to butter up Agrippa the king, saying, "Hey, look, this guy's crazy. I don't know what to do with him, but you're really smart and you love to learn. So why don't you talk to this guy? Maybe you can help him out, or maybe you can send him to Caesar. What do you think?" Verse 10, quote, Paul replied, "I am not insane, but I am saying these things because I am fully convinced about the plot that these Jews hatched in Jerusalem to prevent me from continuing to preach in the cities of the Gentiles." So Paul says, "Look, I'm not crazy. I'm telling you this. The Jews wanted to kill me because I preached the gospel to the Gentiles." Well, we'll pick it up next time in Acts chapter 26. We've gone hear how Paul goes before King Agrippa and defends his actions. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, hit the thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. God bless you.